surprised because it looks more like a lemon, doesn't it? It's yellow. Some people might say it's yeller. See how dark that is? It looks more like a lemon flavor, but it's vanilla. Wow. Do you like crispy sounds? I do. I'll be more proper. Is it proper to hold it like this? Or do you have to hold the saucer? I go like this. I don't know. I'm not all fancy. I try to be. It's great. Today is what day? Class, what day is today? Today is welcome to Granny's class, okay? Today is Sunday class. Many things go on Sundays. No craziness though, I promise you that. So, today is Sunday. So Granny will not do any cray stuff. No blender here today. No blender here. So let me do my thumbnail first, okay? This is so pretty. Look at this. Look at this. Oh no. It's uneven, so I'm going to take this out. Tea time, anyone? I feel so awkward. I'm sorry I have to put you through this. I don't know how to edit, so I just have to do it this way. I'm sorry you have to live through my thumbnail. I need to smile more. Fake smile. Here. I'll be back here. Oh, that's heavy. Heavy. So today is Sunday, and today's more talking than eating. You guys all know. Because this Granny eats a lot during the weekdays. And I still smell like curry because I filmed the Indian meal yesterday. I still smell it on my hand. So if you want to find out my first experience of eating Indian food, how that went, look for tomorrow's video. Okay, I'm gonna upload that tomorrow. Today is Sunday. I have this going on, so tomorrow I will upload it, probably in the morning sometime. Have you noticed my hand? Something's different about my hand. Granny, your left hand looks so plump, so young. Can you tell? I have like bony hands like my mom. No fat at all, it's just skin and bones, bone and skin, nothing, just veins. And but look at this, it looks young, doesn't it? I had a procedure done, okay? And too bad I only had it done on one hand because now it looks uneven. And it happened probably last night, okay? Your time, probably last night. I had a procedure and it worked, right? It's a little red because it's fresh. And the procedure is called spider injection. A spider bit me. Really? I could have done both hands to make it even at least. Now look at this. A child's hand and a granny's hand. I don't know what it is, but spiders are biting me. Not only spiders, a dog bit me a couple of days ago. Allie, maybe Lee. You know what I'm talking about. I took my friend some dinner. Was it Friday? Friday evening? Thursday evening. And her dog bit me. I bring her food, I get bit. You guys want to get a bite from a dog? Take some food to your friend. It's okay, Lee. I'm okay. This granny's fine. I pranked her though. I got her back. She got all worried. Please let me know. And I couldn't kick the dog. Jordan did though. She said she got bit by a little chihuahua and she kicked it. This dog was a chihuahua mix too. So I thought about, should I kick? And then I thought of our friendship. Friendships are far worth more than a dog bite, right? Unless it had rabies and I could have died or something. Good thing she got all her shots, right? What was I gonna say? Oh, so she got all worried. Lee and Tabby, you guys, you couldn't even eat the food I gave you, huh? Because I came home, they're like, tell me how, look and tell us what it's like. So I got home and I couldn't just let this go and say, oh, I'm okay. So you know what I did? I got red food coloring. And I put it on my thigh where I got bit by that little chihuahua. And then I took a picture of it and sent it. And they're like, oh my gosh. And they're all like, go to the hospital, go get checked out, go get a tetanus shot, we'll pay for it. And they're like, we're crying, we can't even eat now. All worried. And I could have just replied right away, but I'm like, no, you're gonna have to wait a few minutes and feel the agony. I'm sorry, I'm a prankster. And so I waited a few minutes and then I took a picture of the red coloring and then I wiped my leg and then took a picture of the hole that I got in my thigh, and then I sent it to them and said, haha, just kidding, I'm fine. And they were telling me that they were crying and they couldn't even eat. So it was a nice prank, wasn't it? And also last night, being in this prank mood, here I am on Sunday telling you all these bad stuff that Granny did. So Peaky ASMR and AK ASMR last night, this is late last night, and after I did my Indian food recording, we got to talking and they, and I said, I finished recording my first Indian food experience. They're like, oh, how did it go? Did you like it? I go, you're gonna have to wait to find out. And then I played a trick on them and I said, you eat with your left hand, right? And they're all like, oh, no, it's right hand. I go, and I, in capital letters, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And they came back with, oh, it's left. And Piki was all worried for me because she said a mukbanger, ASMRist, did an Indian dinner or whatever and ate with her left hand. And she got all these, bad comments and all that. So she was all worried and I was here going, and I just waited a few minutes, let them be tortured. And AK's all like, well, it's okay. You could say that, when you filmed, you flipped your camera inside, upside down or inside out or whatever, turned it, and it just looks like it's left hand, but it's actually right hand or something. And I'm not technical. Even if I could, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I just let them talk among themselves, and they're all texting me all these, Granny, I'm so worried. And I'm like, should I upload it or should I just not? I typed it and I'm just going, and they're all, oh no, they're all worried. And I just let a few minutes go by and then I screenshotted a picture of me eating with my right hand and I sent it to them. And they're like, wait, this is right hand. Just kidding. And so they said they're going to get me back. So I'm very scared. I'm going to be thinking twice when they text me something. So there's Prankster Granny. It's just fun, No harm done except my thigh, which has a hole in it. But it's good. It's healing. So now to Sunday's topic. Hope you guys stayed long enough. hope you stay till the end, okay? Because Sundays I go all out and I prepare, and I even work out in the morning, get my physical body ready, my mental, my emotional, my spiritual, and I get it all ready on Sundays especially. So I hope you stay. And if you know by the title, it's Finish Well. That means finish your mukbangs well, right? But that's not the kind of finishing well I'm talking about right now. Let me have one of these. These are so good. Coconut covered marshmallow, now strawberry filled, I think coconut cookie. Boy, it's 15 minutes already. If this was another channel, I would be saying bye. I'm getting bit by everything. Hope the kids don't bite me. On days when I eat a lot of sweets like this, I work out before. I already did that this morning. I'm gonna have to work out again. Okay, so today I want to talk about finishing well. What do you have to finish? Well, you know, when the new year comes, it's already half gone, more than half. So fast. Have you started a new project, or in the beginning of the year set New Year's resolutions, and you know, this year I'm gonna accomplish this, I'm gonna accomplish that, and we're setting up all these goals that we usually don't finish, because I did that a lot. I said, okay, this year I'm just gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And we set all these goals, but most of us know, we've all been there, done that. We do not accomplish all the goals that, you know, all the goals we set out to accomplish. When we set them, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It looks so easy, but once you get started, it's very difficult. This is the softest. We want to, you know, finish and accomplish. And now that we're all, you know, most of us are doing this YouTube thing. What's your goal? You want to get to that 1K, and you want to get to that 4,000 watch hours, right? That's our goal within a year, because you don't get monetized till you get that, you know, you get both of that. Do you have to complete it in a year? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I hear. So we have all these goals, and most of us, you and I alike, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, we would like to have 1 million subscribers. You know, that's our ultimate goal, right? You're lying if you're saying, no, I'm just doing this for fun. Yeah, for fun, but you want to be, you know, you start something, you want to reach your best, right? And of course you want to get to the millions. Of course we have that. But reality is, most of us, we're not going to be reaching millions, most of us, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't say Granny's negative. No, aim for your highest goal. Yeah, aim for that 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. You know, aim for that. Yeah, work hard for it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that we shouldn't make our channel's success decide our happiness. You know, YouTube should not determine whether we're happy or not just because we lost a few subs here, or we're not reaching our goal within that specified time that we set. Don't let your happiness depend on that, because compared to what I'm about to share with you, this YouTube or your career, your family is important. Your family should come before anything, before your career, before YouTube, before your hobbies. If you have a family, you know, that family should come before anything, okay? People are the most important, not things or jobs or positions. But I'd like to share with you something that is very important. Have you ever competed, or have you been on the track team, or you raced? A lot of you, have done that before, right? Or have you raced your friends? And, I'm sure you ran at one point in your life, right? When you were kids, at least. Yeah. That race, and you keep going. Well, life is a race. From the minute you were born, you were entered into a race, whether you like it or not, whether you choose to be in the race or not. You have entered the race that we call life. It's a race. And until you take your last breath, you're still in the race. We are all in the race of life, and it starts at birth. And because it's such a long race, this race lasts maybe 100 years, 80. Nowadays we live longer, so 80s, 90s, maybe 100. This race is going to go on for a long time. And no one can finish a perfect race in this race we call life. You will stumble, you will fall, you will trip. And you'll trip on your own because of some choices that you make that cause you to trip on your own. But there will be other obstacles in your life, other people that will stick their foot out and trip you. And whether you succeed in life or not depends on how you react. You cannot control the actions of other people. They may hurt you, they may throw stones at you, they may trip you, and they'll do whatever they can to make you fall and stumble in this race we call life. And the race continues. It continues and it continues, and you fall and stumble, but you need to get up. You can't just fall and stay down there. Am I being so serious? Let me smile. So this life, you stumble, you fall, but you have to get up. And you have many friends or family. And if you don't have a single person that cares for you and that cares about your race, you can count on Granny. You can comment. You can message me on Instagram. I will be there for you if nobody else will be there for you. I will be the listening ear, and I will help you, to the best of my ability to help you get up, because you can't just fall and stay down. You have to get up. You have to move, right? And so we're all entered into this race, and we have no choice but to run the race. You can walk it and just not really care about life and just let whatever happens, happens. You could let people throw stones, and you could let them trip you, you just fall. You could lay down there and just do nothing at all. Or you could be that strong person that you can be. Everyone has that potential. It's a matter of your choice. You have to choose to become a strong person. Life is a choice. Everything in life, it's a choice. And you can't choose whether people do bad things to you or, get in your way, but you can choose how you react to everything, okay? And I want to talk about a couple people. And there are two people in the Bible. Okay? I want to talk about two big people in the Bible and, give you an idea of what kind of attitude, we should have in running this race called life. There's King Saul, okay? Saul was a great king. He was the first king of Israel. And he was very, very handsome, very strong, very big, and he looks like the king figure. Everyone has respect for him. He wins battles, he's strong, and everyone loves a handsome, strong, man to be their king. So, he was doing very well. And he hasn't really done anything wrong. He just seemed like the perfect king. And then there's another king that came after him, the second king of Israel, and his name was David. David and Goliath, and I've shared about David and Goliath in my previous videos. David was a teenage boy who killed the giant Goliath, and it was all because he trusted God, he depended on God, and his body wasn't as strong and, physical as King Saul's was. So after little David, the shepherd boy, kills Goliath, King Saul likes, this young man who saved his country, right? So he calls David to live in his palace, and David played the harp and he sang and he worshiped God. So whenever King Saul got nervous or stressed or whatever, and he was just not at peace, he would call, David. David, come sing for me. Play your harp and sing for me. And David would play like a feminine, and yet he had that strength to kill bears and lions and Goliath. So, if you trust in God, you can be a soft, quiet little person, but you can be that lion, that roaring lion, and have that strength, if you trust in God. He will give you that strength. And so David, he grew up, and later he became, king number 2. But in that process, King Saul hated David and wanted to kill him because he was jealous of, this young man that God has chosen to be king. And King David, he was not perfect at all. And God said that King David was the apple of his eye. How? Because he sinned greatly. I mean, he's probably the king that sinned greatly against, God. He was fragile, he was soft and gentle, but he was a mighty warrior, after he became king. And as a king, he still fought. He still went to battle. He didn't just send his men, he went and fought. And he won all those battles. But this one time, he didn't go. He was up on his roof and he saw a beautiful woman. And he called her. And he had her, And it was another man's wife. And her husband, Uriah, went to war, and this woman, her name was Bathsheba. She was, she was alone. Her husband was away fighting. But king, in those days, kings could have whoever, women, all kinds of women they want. And he chose a married woman because she was beautiful. And once he found out that she got pregnant, she was pregnant with his child, he wanted to cover up his sin. So he sent her husband, Uriah, to go out to the front lines of the battle that he was in. And he sent them on the front line. And Uriah died, of course. And then King David took Bathsheba as his wife. They had the baby, but depending on what choices you make, if you make bad choices, there are consequences. Just because God loves you doesn't mean that he's going to skip over the consequence. You do the crime, you have to do the time, right? And so it's unfortunate, but God took their kid. The baby died. And David was so hurt, but he knew that was coming, because you can't sin against God and think he's going to just turn his eyes and, let you get away scot-free, because God loves you. And like parents, we want to love our children, but when they do something wrong, you want to teach them wrong and give them consequences, right? So you children out there, if you're getting punished for something bad that you did, it's not because your parents hate you, it's because they want to teach you. As I shared with you before, I stole, when I was in 3rd grade, I stole gum and candy, and I didn't stop until I got a big whooping from my mom, and that really stopped me. So consequences are pretty good, they help you become a good person. So King David, he cried his eyes out, he repented, he was remorseful, and he had humility in his heart. He was like, God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he cried his eyes out. He cried so much that his pillow was soaked with his tears. So here's King David, this great king, and he committed many crimes, right? Just to cover up. When you do something bad, you kids, when you do something wrong, just go straight to your parents or whoever, is taking care of you, your teacher, whoever. Just go and tell them, you admit it and say, I'm sorry. Because if you try to cover up that lie, that bad thing that you did, you're going to create more lies, and it's going to be a snowball effect. It's going to grow bigger and bigger, and you're just going to get yourself deeper and deeper into trouble. And when you get caught, then you're going to get in trouble more because you lied about it. With my kids now, Raina, Jordan, and Isaiah, if they make a mistake, they have to get punished if they choose the wrong thing. But if they lie about it, and I let them know ahead of time, if you lie, if you do something wrong and you admit it, I will have to punish you so that I could teach you that it's wrong. But if you lie about it, it's going to be worse. I'll be more upset at you for lying to me, because when someone lies to you, it's like saying, I think you're stupid enough to believe my lie, so I'm going to lie to you because you're just that dumb and you're going to fall for it. That's how I take it. So I'd rather have someone tell me what they did wrong and be open with me, and I'm forgiving. I will forgive. But when they lie about it, I just can't take that. I can't stand it when people lie to me. And so here's King Saul. He had confidence. And David, he's just a humble, even when he was a king, he was just humble before God. God help me. He was always dependent on God. But Saul, I think he trusted more in himself, because he had that, he was that figure. And I think he knew he was that king figure. And maybe he trusted his brain more. I don't know. But at one point, a prophet, before the Israelites went to war, they would always give a sacrifice to God, and God help us, and then they would go to war. Well, he was anxious to go to war, to battle, but the prophet Samuel had to come in, and they had to give the sacrifice to God and do all that before they went to war. But King Saul couldn't wait. He's like, I can't wait for Prophet Samuel. Why is he late? And then so he just sacrificed and gave the offering to God himself. And that was where he went wrong, because just because he was king doesn't mean that he could do the work of a man of God. It's like a pastor nowadays, like the leader of the church. Anyone can't just take, okay, since you're not here, I'll just, if the pastor says, I'm going to be late, why don't you take over and do this? That's fine. But you don't just usurp, and just take over like that. So King Saul, he did that. He was out of line. He was out of place. But I don't think I've read where he was very remorseful, where he was crying and saying, God, please forgive me. He wasn't like that. And so when you read, if you read your Bible, if you read, the ending is horrible. King Saul dies. It was during war, but he didn't want to get killed by another enemy, right? So when he knew that he had no chance of surviving, he committed suicide. He had the sword. He just fell on his sword and just died. Very, very unfortunate. And I think it was because of pride. Who cares if your enemy shoots you, or, not shoot you, they didn't have guns, but who cares if the enemy kills you? You just try your best. But because he had pride, he didn't want himself to go down in history, as a king that was killed by his enemy. So he just committed suicide. But David, on the other hand, he was a king. But at one point he was dancing because, it's a long story, but he was dancing at one point and his clothes were falling off and people were, laughing at him. But before God, David was like a little child. He was so happy. When he was happy, he would just dance before the Lord and he would sing and worship. And when he, realized that he did something very horrible, he cried and repented, a repentant heart. And so we could see two great kings, but King David was greater because he had a humble heart. He had a repentant heart. And for him, it was about being a good child of God rather than doing, because King Saul did a lot too. He did many great things, but he was more worried about his position, or, and he had pride. So he didn't totally trust in God. He trusted himself. And that means, someone who does that, they have pride. I don't need anybody else. I'll do it myself. He didn't trust anybody. So it was more about doing things for King Saul, whereas David, it was about being a humble child before God and just trusting in God. And that's the difference. And although to our eyes, King David did many more bad things, right? He's committed more sin than Saul did. In our eyes, we should, punish King David more. But before God, it's all about the heart. Remember, I mentioned to you guys, God sees the heart. He doesn't look at the outer appearance. Man looks at the outer appearance, but God sees the heart. He sees the heart. And we should be more concerned about what kind of person we are than to worry about how many things we're doing, how many great things we're doing, how many great things that we are doing so that people could love us and follow us on Instagram or subscribe to us. Life is more than just this. For me, YouTube is a fun playground place. And of course I would like to grow big, and who doesn't? But I don't depend on YouTube to bring me happiness. I'll be rejoiceful if I hit 1,000. Oh, I'll be happy. But that's not going to bring me true happiness. YouTube is just a part of my life. It's not the main life. My main life is trying to run this, race that we call life. And so it's our heart condition. Just like how, let's say, for example, you have two kids, and they both did something very horrible. The first one does maybe 2 or 3 things. The second child does 10 things. But the second child comes to you, the parent, and says, Mom, Dad, I did this, I'm sorry. I did all this, I did it, I'm sorry, I don't know why. What are you going to do as a parent? You're going to forgive that child, right? But what if your first child comes, did 2 or 3 things? Compared to him or her, I only did 2 or 3, so I should be rewarded. Or don't you have anything to say? No, because compared to that person, compared to her or him, I only did a few. Who are you going to be leaning towards to love more or to acknowledge more? Personally, I would go for the second child because of the heart condition, the remorseful, the repentant heart. And just like that, God sees the repentant heart. No matter how you stumbled, how you fell during the course of your life, and it doesn't matter if you're stuck right now, it's never too late. As I say, as Granny always says, as long as there's hope, as long as there's breath, there is hope. You may be at your lowest point in life right now, and you may be stumbling. You may have fallen by your own cause, or somebody's making you stumble. Don't stay down there. If you're down there right now, get up. Get up. Life is more than just, falling and tripping and staying down. Get up. If you have the strength to move your finger, use all that strength to get up and look to God, because He is the source of your strength. He will raise you up. And no matter what you did in the past, He will erase all that for you. But just bring it to God and say, God, help me. I'm done living and being stuck at the bottom here. I want to be happy. I want to be full of joy. And it's not just money we're talking about. Money will not bring you happiness. It'll make you happy for just a little while, but money's going to bring you more problems, I believe. Having too much is a problem too, because you don't know what to do with it. You just spend it on useless things. That's my opinion, okay? Don't judge. So, when you're bottom, get up. As long as you have breath. Are you breathing? Are you watching this video? Are you hearing this Granny's voice? Then there is hope. There is hope for you. And I will help you. If there's no one else to help you, I will help you. Talk to me, comment, ask questions. I will help you. If you need an ear to listen, I will listen to you. I will. And I will try my best to answer. I will research. If I don't know certain things, I will ask around. I will research, and I will bring that answer to you. Seriously. You need Jesus in your race, because you know why? The finish line is heaven. That's the finish line. I don't know where you're all running towards. I'm running towards heaven. I'm going to make it to heaven. Am I perfect? No. Do I fall? Yes, I do. Do I stumble? Yes, I do. But I know enough that if I fall, I get right up. I don't stay down there long. I don't. I do fall. I fall and for a split second, and I realize, no, I'm not going to get fooled by the enemy. And I dust myself off and I look towards my goal, which is heaven. Okay? Okay. So it's about humility, about repenting, having that, just that humble, down-to-earth heart, and just seek God. Because once we reach our goal, God's gonna give us a crown. I don't think I'll wear it. I'll just hand it back to Jesus and say, oh, Jesus, you did all the work on the cross. I don't deserve it. I don't try to live for God because I want blessings. That's not my main goal. Blessings just come with living for God. That's all I can say. I don't try and, God, I'm going to do this for you so you could bless me. I don't do that. I don't ask God to bless me. That just comes automatically. I say, God, help me to live according to your will. And that's my prayer. And you know what? The blessings just fall. It just comes automatically. So I would like to share with you the scripture for today. It's Hebrews chapter 12, 1 through 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. So we are running this race. We are running this race. And I hope you all were on the same path so we could help one another out. That's one thing good about getting to know one another as fellow Christians. You're able to help somebody else when they're down. They're able to help you when you're down. When they're down, you can help them, and when they're down, you can help them. Do I make any sense? Sometimes when I watch myself, I'm like, I say sentences that don't even make sense, but I believe you're smart enough to understand what this granny is trying to say. So there's a song, okay? 41 minutes. Okay, it's called The Bugle Calls Are Ringing Out. Bugle calls are ringing out, forward is the battle shout. See where floats the conquering sign, onward to the war divine. And when the battle's over, we shall wear a crown. We shall wear a crown. We shall wear a crown. And when the battle's over, we shall wear a crown in the New Jerusalem. Wear a crown, away over Jordan. And when the battle's over, we shall wear a crown in the New Jerusalem. And last Sunday, I forgot to play, but I'm going to remember now. Continue running the race, okay? Continue running. And if you fall, please get up. Please get up. All right. So tomorrow I have the Indian food video going up, okay? My first time. I can't promise you anything. I can't tell you the answer if I was able to eat it or not. I can't tell you. You'll have to find out and watch, okay?